G'day there guys, welcome back to In My Shed. I'm BC. It's been several days since my last post, so I thought I'd better put something together. I've been trying to nut this machine out. I'll give you a demo of it running in a little while. I've decided to keep this one and move on two of the other grinders, and that'll come at the end of the video if you want a cheap tool and cutter grinder or one of the reasonable prices. Two to go. Several reasons I decided to stick with this machine. Overall, it's made in Switzerland, so it's a quite well-made machine. It's got the motor inside the spindle, which can be good and bad. I may have to do the spindle bearings, but I'll decide that after a little bit of run time. All the grease had caked up and gone shitty inside, so I used a little injector needle and gave it a bit of grease. I almost threw that in the bin. It's a special little clamp. Goes around 12mm rod, and that's a spare used up here, and it's a bit of a universal wheel guard. You under that clamp, you can angle the wheel guard, lift the whole lot up. Makes it quite a useful piece of kit, and it's only a thumb screw over the back that you have to undo to get rid of it. There's mounts both on the top and on the side. The side's T-slot, so you can put indexing items on there, and I would assume, but the manual shows you absolutely nothing, that the indexing fingers would come in from the bottom. Another reason we want to keep it is this absolutely superb workhead. Boy, they've done some jobs on the bloody design of it. Okay, we'll go through the features. It's 5 Morse taper in the front, and I've swapped a 5:3 reducer sleeve in there, which I'll knock back out again and take the back of it. I'll cut the tang off and turn it into an open end sleeve so I can draw bar 3 Morse taper ER32 collet chucks in it. It's got a lock on the spindle here. You take that out and you can spin the spindle, drop it in. Oh, come on, don't make a fib out of me. Now it's not going to work, I've locked it up. That's better. Okay, if you put it in the right place, it drops in 2 positions. So for 2 flute cutters, you've got positive indexing. Told you the manual wasn't much good, it's in German. Okay, it also has this indexing arrangement on the rear, which you can lock down. And the lock isn't just a friction lock, it's a cam that forces the lever down into the slots on the indexing disc. Clive made a 24-slot indexing disc, and he didn't quite make the indexing 100% on one of them, but I'll still be able to use it. And one of the unusual features, and this comes from, I think, an American idea, the center spindle runs in a sleeve and is connected by this clamp at the back. And if you undo that clamping bolt there, you can use these 2 screws to slightly alter the relationship between the indexing ring and the spindle. So you can do primary relief and secondary relief on cylindrical items quite easily. The back is, I think, B&S 50. Anyway, it's too big to use, too cumbersome for tool holders. I don't know why the hell they made it that size. Okay, you can swivel around the base and you can swivel here. The head can swivel 30 degrees either way. It can rotate 270 degrees. It's got rise and fall on the head. It's marked off on the grease inside or underneath the motor there. And it's also, on the outside and the inside, the ease and rise and fall is marked off in thous. So, yeah, quite happy, hundredths of a millimetre, it's metric. Really quite happy with that. One problem I've come up with, and I think I solved it just as quickly, is when the motor is set with the long end this way, and you've got the head on here, they're almost coplanar, so there's nowhere for grinding wheel or work to fit. And I think it might be similar to what the Cincinnatis do. You swing the table around to 45 degrees and then swing this back again to 0, and it positions the workhead further out this way to give you a lot more room between the end of the workhead and the spindle. I can't figure out if I've made a blue and I've got this back to front, but you only have a graduation scale on part of it. So I think that's the way it is supposed to go. Two socketed cap screws here, and the table can swivel 360 if you're far enough back with the workhead. Now this is the feed handle, and it's a sub-table underneath here that moves backwards and forwards, which is a little bit different. The table now moves quite easily, except I've got the stops up. You can see the spring-loaded stops. They're off an old Cincinnati I bought about 35 years ago today at the Modified Downer. One of the videos shows that. The table does move really freely, and I think a little bit too much so. That's why I put the spring-loaded stops in. Otherwise you'd be crashing to the work. I've got the old original fixed stops if I want to change back to them. So I think as I get used to it, it'll be, I don't know about my go-to machine, but I will use it a fair bit, especially for heavier work. The table shows a fair bit of sign of abuse, and there's no need for that on tool and cutter grinders. You don't have to hammer shit onto the table. There's chips out the side of it. Whether it was abused and used and just put in one side, I don't know. I think they might have had trouble with the control circuitry. But I've stoned the table, and there's a few big hammer marks, but it all slides quite well nicely. So I'll get it up and running soon. Next thing, also, one point of note, I cleaned out the T-slot with a bit of kerosene and some paper toweling, and the reason for that is if you're going to clean the machine and get all the abrasive grain off, it's very, very difficult if it's all stuck in the T-slot with grease and shit that's been gathering there for several years. So I cleaned it out, and it's a reasonable item to use now. Okay, well, I'll stop the gas bagging, give you a listen to the noise that it makes, and then we'll have a look at what accessories, etc. also help me make my mind up to keep it. Bring you back, sir. Okay, guys, this is the sound of it running in low range, and I have no idea if that's normal. I do have one fellow I know out lately who's got a similar Haro grinder, and he says his run's dead quiet, but dead quiet compared to what? I don't know. I think that's 1800 RPM, and it runs at 3600 on the high speed. It all depends whether it's been wound for 60 Hertz or 50 Hertz operation, and I'll be able to figure that out over the next couple of days. Get rid of the background noise. Some of the other items I got with it, and you've probably seen this in a previous video, but like the Phantom says, for those who came in late, that's a completed wheel hub, an almost completed wheel hub, I think for saw blades, and a almost completed wheel hub for I don't know what. I can't figure it out yet. They run on a unusual collet size, a 17.4 or something like that, which I find to be strange. Everything on this machine is metric imperial equivalent. Like this measures up at 11/16 imperial, which I find really strange for a bloody metric grinder. But yeah, so there's extra wheel heads for it, or shafts for it, sorry. And I'll bring the rest up and bring you back in a sec. Okay, this is a bit of gear that also came with it. That's a 32A 46 kV, which is an unusual mix for a flared cup wheel. 32A is normally reserved for extremely hard tool steels, things that have been put up to 60 Rockwell C. And that's the first one I've actually seen. So I'll keep that in the kick. That looks in very good condition. That's a Type 1A1 wheel with no markings whatsoever on it. So that'll be gently given the drop test. It's also got very, very large washers, as you would expect to see on a cut-off wheel, because they need much better support, or much more support. So that could just be that they've mixed up an application on the flanges. And this is a face and rim diamond wheel, which still looks to have a fair bit of diamond on it. Very nice hub setup, and even a bloody pin spanner for the hubs. So I'm on a winner there. I think all in all it's going to be a go-to machine. I have the DOL direct online starter box here, but I'm still waiting for some accessories to come from the Sparky, glands and cable conduit, etc. So we'll get it up and cleaned up to the spec I want, and I'm still tossing up whether to put the VRD on it. I think I might. I've got 2 machines left to do, and VRD for each of them. Now, this will only get a few more man hours and I'll have it up to operational speed, especially when I sort out how to work the workhead for grinding standard cutters, and then we'll be shifting on to the Kearns S-type horizontal borer and get the wiring sorted on that with a new enclosure and with VFD. Okay, I'll show you the machines I'm going to sell and then I'll call it quits for the day. Okay, first up for sale, it's labelled Servian, but I believe it's made by Astra, maybe over in Spain. It's an AR5-EET, and Alan Gilby down south has got one of his is marked Astra, not Servian. I think if I tore the Servian label off, it would have that marking. It's got a cable operated table, which is reasonably long. It's a little bit stiff in operation. It needs a good clean. Adjustable table stops. You do not get the form relief grinding attachment at all. Don't even ask for it. Okay, it's got a universal head that can pivot in the actual line that the wheel axle's on now. It can rotate. And yeah, all around it's been a machine I've used for 20 years now for grinding countersinks and a few other small jobs that you can fit into that relief grinding attachment. So you're looking about $2,000 for that machine. And well worth the money as tool and cutter grinders are getting very scarce. Okay, here's another machine that I picked up. This was going to originally be my keeper because it's got an absolutely huge table that does swivel as well, and it has the extended high-speed spindle on it. I just have too many projects, and I'm going to be using this part of the shed for fabrication and material storage, so that has to go. TOS brand, I would estimate mid-60s manufacture. I don't know what the hell it was doing in its previous life, but it is a huge machine, a lot of real estate there. I'll see if I can get a few pictures of the front. I shouldn't have said pictures, I should have said video. You can see the extended spindle on it there. Quite a beefy overhead unit, but it's like the Cincinnati number 2. There's no tilt on the head, it just rotates. Old Mitsutoyo DRO that was working when I got the machine here. I over travelled the table sensor and it's tripped off and I don't know how to reset it. Like the Cincinnati, it's got the fast, slow table feed. Very, very rigid, heavy machine. I think $1,200 will pull that up. Well, guys, you've seen what I've got for sale. Both those grinders are in reasonable physical condition, and I think it wouldn't take too much to get them up and operating. The Servian does run. The TOS I've never had running, and honestly, the electrics came out with Noah and the Ark, probably the 1960s. But all the switches except are looking good nick, but I wouldn't trust it. I'd be tearing it down and get a Sparky to rewire it and maybe fit a VFD. Also, the motor is a very, very old style open frame. It's about that big for a 1/2 horsepower motor. I don't trust old things like that. I'd look around for a little 3/4 horsepower modern motor. I think would suit it a hell of a lot better. I have no lifting gear here whatsoever, and even my pallet jack has dropped its belly, so it'll be a bit of a hassle to load. You'll need a crane truck or a heavy gantry that's mobile. Okay, well that's it for this week. Next time I show you this, I hopefully will be making some sparks. We'll nut out how to get this table operating. The workshop manual is absolutely bloody useless, and I've got no videos up on YouTube of anyone using one. So if you've got any information on using one, if you could let me know, please. Okay, please like and subscribe, and bye for now.